motion.
Oh, jeez. Okay, go ahead. All right. Let's try pushing it out. What's up, everyone? Today we need to talk about the 1970 Buick Electra that I know you guys were as excited as I was, and unfortunately we have some serious issues. The bodywork, not really worried about that at all, and as you just saw, we had to take the windshield out to confirm something, but these kind of things, they were all able to be fixed. The rear panel right here, this we could have patched up, you know, it probably folded in here. In fact, you can really see that it folds in. So we would have had to take the back glass out and do the repair. Not a big deal. We come inside through here, the inner fenders, rock solid. I mean, a little bit of issue here and there, but all things we could resolve. We come inside here, and this is, you know, it's scary, you know. I was planning on maybe doing some fun things with, you know, dropping the weight, try to make this thing a little bit more peppy. Floor pans, they don't make, as far as I can find, there's not an entire floor pan. So patches they make, unfortunately you can see the patches that I found cover that area, that area, that area, that area, but it doesn't cover the tunnel, nor does it cover the center part underneath the seat, and the tunnel is gone too. Not a big deal. Not scared about that at all. You know, it's a frame or body on frame car. Just fix it. The thing would be, you know, make sure you do it right so it's done once. So the biggest issue was getting the front seat out. It's electronic, so it's gotta, you know, you're supposed to move it all the way back to remove the fronts, and you have to move it all the way forward to remove the backs. Unfortunately, they didn't work. So what I'm having to do is really just struggle to get the ones out that I could, and then the other ones were so rusted, actually all the ones on the back were so rusted that I couldn't get anything on it. The heads just rounded off, and were actually more round when I found them than they were anything else. So I just ground the bottom just perfectly flat, hit it with a center punch, and drilled through the actual bolt, and then it came out, and as you can see, there it sits. Now, none of the mechanisms inside here work at all, which is a shame, but you know, we could have worked through that. We'll come to this in a little bit. The inner parts of the door, like I said, all the metal rotted completely out. Doesn't scare me. We could have come with some pretty cool solutions that would have looked pretty neat. So the rear wasn't bad. The structure, the back is pretty decent. A little bit of rust here and there. The floor below the back seat, that's pretty bad. You can see through into the ground. We could repair that. It's when I got to the ceiling, as you can see right over there, that's where the seat belt bolts into the ceiling, and it's gone. As soon as I put a wrench on it, it just came off. The whole area that held the seat belt is gone on both sides, and that was concerning. So by the time the headliner came down, I kind of had quite the scares, quite the bad situation. And as you can see, I don't know if I already said it, but we opened it up with the windshield coming out. But the header panel, the front header panel is very rough, guys. Unfortunately, it looks like mice were living up on top of it. Very common in 1940s era Chevy pickup trucks. The mice live in there, and the combination of their fecal matter and you know, all the stuff that they bring, and it just kind of compacts up inside there, and unfortunately it rots it out. And combined with the issue of it being stored underneath a pine tree, and this is the thing that bothers me, just so solid. It's such a satisfying door to shut. But the whole point of this car was going to be for a family driver, and one of the most structural parts of your vehicle, especially for safety, not only to keep your windshield in, which would be a very bad time if you're driving down the road, it comes out and sails into the world. Unfortunately, that would be very, very bad. But the biggest issue is, sure, this is a body on frame car. The A-pillars do provide quite a bit of safety in an accident. And unfortunately, there's nothing left of these. It continues like this pretty much across the entire header panel. The whole top is gone. This side is the better side, but there's really not much holding this A-pillar on the car. And one thing that I would never do to you guys is try to spin a tale of how this was such a success. I pulled something out of it for $500. We grabbed ourselves a beautiful 1972 Buick Electra, and we're driving down the street with it. And even though I would wish that was the tale I was able to tell you on this one, there's the actual A-pillar on this side. It's gone. Like there's only about an inch of metal holding this A-pillar on. And what would happen in an accident is, sure, your frame would take the most of the load, but it's going to end up shifting, and it would literally just, I can't sell this car to someone else without them knowing. Like I would never hide that on someone. Someone has an accident in this, they're going to die. Or be severely injured, or driving down at 70 miles per hour or more, and your windshield comes out, and all of a sudden now you find yourself in another lane, or worse. Well, that is about the worst thing. So it really bothers me that this is the situation, and I'm by no means mad about it. I'm just very disappointed. We definitely got our money's worth for the engine that's sitting in it. I know my wife and I are very disappointed about not being able to make this into a cruiser, a long journey, road trip car with the family. I had some really cool ideas to make it so that this would have been very safe for the kids. I was thinking about, just updating the seat belts and putting the loops so that the car seats can actually lock in appropriately. I had some really cool ideas, but at this point, even though the frame is in phenomenal shape, there's just not enough parts on the market to do a repair on this, and we can get ourselves a really nice one of these between $5,000 and $10,000 without having to do all of the work to it. So even though I love the idea of being able to bring this from the grave, unfortunately, I feel like this car is what it is. A big thank you to Rich for coming down and helping me take the windshield out again. I know I've said it a couple times, but not only was he down there to help me, look at what it was, but he was really, he brought up a very valid point. He knows how much Stephanie liked it and how much I like this car, and we were really looking forward to this being a new family cruiser. Don't get me wrong, the Cadillac Escalade it does what it does, and it's great for bringing the kids where they need to go, and it's just not a fun car to drive. But I'm more of a car person, so I was really attached to this. But like you said, you can't save them all, and unfortunately, that's the situation with this thing. It's just too far gone. But if one good thing can come out of this, we have a very strong 455, and if you guys are interested in seeing this inside of the 71 Buick GS over the LS, I'm kind of married to that idea. So in the comment section down below, please let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about the situation. I know you guys were as excited as I was about the car, but it's not all for naught, because now the 455, the heart of this car, can live on in the GS, and we do have that LS that needs to be built. We can always put that in another project down the road. I have a perfectly good 455 that I would hate to see. I don't want to send it down the road, because it's one of my favorite engines, and I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I'm really personally leaning towards saving the 455 out of this and putting it inside the GS. Now, the cool thing about the 455 is it's a 70. It means all we really need to do is take these heads, put bigger valves in it, and just open the ports up a bit, and we have a stage 1. Now, TA Performance has a ton of options on rebuilding these engines, bigger, badder, and more insane than they were in the 70s. They have all the way up to, I think, stage 5 or 4 heads. Obviously aluminum, custom made from them, and I think that's a phenomenal option. It's an expensive option, but you know, it's something we can always upgrade down the road. These engines are truly amazing. So you guys comment in the section down below. Remember, if you like this kind of content, hopefully we don't have to, you know, bring cars to the pet cemetery too often. But it's got a beautiful frame on there, so I got to find someone that can use it. I'll start asking around anyone that might need it, and you know, just like Mike gave us that really awesome. I mean, the car itself was kind of almost in the same situation as this. The frame was in really good shape, body was bad. Skylark for our GS. So someone can need it more than I do, and I would hate to just, because there's someone restoring one of these. There's a lot of good body panels. It's just, well, good parts of the body panels, I should say. But yeah. So on that disappointment, maybe not so much of a disappointment, because the 455 will live on in our GS. You guys have yourselves a beautiful night. Remember, as always, keep your shiny side up, and God bless.